Whoever you are right now is a young adult who strongly dislikes his life and the trajectory it is taking. One, you could be enjoying your student life, unaware of what's truly coming next. Two, you could be the one who jumped into the job market, like everyone around you told you so. A few months pass by, and you feel numb, physically and mentally, as if there is no reason for you to live anymore. School officially trapped you into a meaningless job in regards to your life. My name is Jadone, and I help young adult students and graduates live a purposeful life through continuous learning outside of school. Something school hasn't told us about is the difference between work and job. When you hear the word work, you immediately think about being into the 9 to 5 and just doing most of the time a job that you don't even like, but you just have to do it for the money. So basically, you're doing unfulfilling work for money. But I think that's more the definition of a job like we think it is. So a job in the traditional sense is basically a paid position of employment, of regular employment. So that's basically a 9 to 5. To me, the meaning of work is something more insightful, deep, and meaningful than that. To me, work is something that's unique for everyone, for each individual. For example, there are different types of work. There is the personal work, the social work that you can do, or the actual work related to school and college, and the work that you do in your workplace as well. But to me, that's more into the definition of a job. The definition of a job, it just sounds more like harsh and just more sad, you know, more depressing than the word work, which seems and sounds way more appealing, insightful, and motivating than the word job. To me, the work that we do and that we have the possibility to do is a very strong motivator to achieving a good life. And I think most people, they confuse the two, work and job. We have been taught that having to work and having a job is the same thing, and that's why we're so depressed, or we're so soul draining when we have to go to work, because we just associate it with the consequences and what we think what a job is. But work, it doesn't have to be this position where you get somewhere, you get someplace and work for someone else and get paid based on the time you pass there. No, work can be something personal, insightful, spiritual. It's really something that only you can understand when you take the time to think about it. And most of us haven't been taught that in school. I mean, honestly, school hasn't even told us why we were in school. Like, we were just there because it was kind of this normal thing to do, conditioning, where everyone does it, so might as well do it because FOMO, we don't want to be left out. But when you think about it, no one actually in the school system told you why you were in school. They just assumed that you wanted to get a job like everyone else, without ever critically thinking about your choices and what you actually want in your own life. That skill is not taught. The skill to actually think for yourself, they don't teach you that. And that's what I teach in my program, The New School. The New School is a community of like-minded students in college, university, or recent graduates who look to live a purposeful, meaningful, and fulfilling life by learning stuff that school didn't teach them about. Click on the link down below to join. Another important concept to understand the meaning behind work and job is instant gratification and delayed gratification. instant gratification involves any activity that feels good right now but destroys you in the long run. And that could be masturbating, eating junk food, going on social media and scrolling, looking for this like constant novelty boost of dopamine. It's basically any activity that involves an immediate shot of dopamine with nothing afterwards. You know, those activities that feel really good right now for like when you do them, but then you just feel like shit afterwards. And that's what most of us do outside of school. We think that the most productive thing that we do in our days is to do our homework and being in class, but that's like the easiest type of work that we can do. There's actually way more personal work that we can do that's way more gratifying than what we do in school, and that doesn't make us feel depressed like a job. And they involve delayed gratification, this concept where you do things that hurt right now but that they feel really good in the long run. So as if like there's almost this positive feedback loop, this positive return of investment. And these involve these usually involve the activities that actually benefit your health, your physical and mental health, and that actually make you feel good and grateful and mindful of the world around you. So these include uh, going for exercise. Not you doesn't have to be a workout or just going to the gym, going to exercise, go for a walk. These are I consider delayed gratification because most people don't do them, and that's also another difference. Most instant gratification activities, most people do them because they're so easy to access and easy to gain pleasure from. And while delayed gratification activities, a few people do them because it's much harder to gain pleasure from them right now. And that's what people want nowadays. The right now. What we feel right now is more important than how we feel in the future. So yeah, going for any type of exercise, not engaging in any sexual activity like most of the time, or like keeping your sexual energy, going to talk to someone, to make a friend or to date someone. That hurts right now because there's this fear of rejection and everything. But it may be your future partner in life. You never know. So so you know what I'm talking about, all those activities that sting a bit when you do them, when you think about them, but when you just turn your brain off and do them, they actually feel really good. And this ties into the concept of doing meaningful work because you need to learn how to delay your own gratification to actually start doing purposeful and meaningful work. Because if you keep just juggling between those bad habits, those instant gratification habits, and your work, you're gonna be in this trap where you think that your job, you know where you don't actually feel any find any meaning in it. You're gonna feel that that job is your productive side of life, and that your fun time of life is when you do all those bad habits. But I'm telling you, it's not that. It can change. It doesn't have to be that way. When you start doing the delayed gratification habits, you will learn about how you can actually find your passion and use that passion to find a purpose, a work related purpose that's actually going to become your work and your actually like full-time job. But this time your full-time job that you actually enjoy by doing your passion and working towards your purpose. We have been told in school that passion is, this concept that can only be classified as a hobby, so as something that you do for fun. But I think that you can actually like monetize your passion if you take the time and actually dedicate yourself to it. Your passion can actually become part of your professional life and your work life. It doesn't have to be this separate thing outside of your actual work. You can actually mix in your work into your life, and your work and life can just become one. They don't have to be like separate and become this work life balance like everyone says. For example, your Mondays through Fridays don't have to be only dedicated to work and the job, the school, the homeworks, and Saturday, Sundays, the fun times. You can live every day how you ever you want. And I think that's another thing that society and school brainwashes you with, that you only have 5 days of productive work and 2 days where you can actually have fun. But the truth is, outside of school, in the real world, in the adult world, you have to organize your life the way however you want. And I think the best way is to actually do whatever you want, do whatever the fuck you want in every day of your life. You only have one life, so might as well do the things that passionate you, do work that actually resonates with you. Using passion as a fuel to find your purpose is the first step into living a good life in regards to your work, to finding the actual work that you want to do for the rest of your life. And I'm not saying that it doesn't have to be a job and that we all have to be businessmen, but I think for most of us, we want to do something creative where we actually use our creativity to create or build something. I think that's actually what's more meaningful to us than just, doing a repetitive set of tasks all day for 8 hours, which is way too long. But hey, if your passion and your purpose is in a job, so this position, or you work for someone else, you do what you want. But I don't think that's the way most of us think, especially like in this new world, in this new age where there's the internet. There's so much opportunities and possibilities to do what we want. I think it's the start of the best era of finding work that's meaningful for you, to start actually doing it. When you have your passion and finally take the time to find a way to translate that passion into something that can be meaningful for you, and when you have a purpose along with that passion, you can translate passion and purpose into your actual work. So that's basically your full-time job now. So that's what you do for a living. You make money whilst doing what you like. And I think that's the most wonderful thing that you can do in life. Like, think about it. Like, you actually do something that you like, that you truly like, not just like this thing on the side that you like, but like what you actually wake up and look forward to. You actually do that and earn money from it. Like, just saying that sounds like a dream, but it's just like it's just what everyone wants, doing something that we like and earn money from it. But most of us live our whole lives without ever achieving that. When you finally combine your passion, your purpose, and your work together, you actually start to live authentically and reveal your true self to the world, instead of being like this person with multiple facets to his persona, who acts this way at work, acts this way at school, acts this way at home. You just start being free. You're free from everything and everyone. And that's truly a wonderful feeling. I'll see you soon.